Good evening, everyone, and welcome to episode 6 of the TrafficTroupe podcast. We're so glad you could join us on this beautiful evening. Everyone gather round, listen to the tale we will weave through the air. Uh, my name is Cab, and I can leap over tall buildings in a single bound. And to my left is my buddy Blaze.
Just like lobster and some species of octopus. Is it octopus?
Octopi.
Yeah, octopi. Uh, I think it's not even octopus, but I don't care. I'm immortal.
Perfect, very succinct. And to my right is my other just incredible friend, Johnny D.
Plural of cactus is cacti.
Whoa! Starting off with just hot facts for everyone. And octopi aren't immortal.
Yeah, I meant to say jellyfish. There's a type of jellyfish, and yeah.
I think you're
The one
thinking
thing,
of elves.
what's that?
I think you're thinking of elves.
They might also be immortal, I think.
But there's really a jellyfish that's immortal?
Yeah.
We
Well-
need to we need to splice their genes into ours. I think that's how we'll be immortal. I mean, as a vehicle, we're sort of immortal, as long as people take
Here's
care
something
of
I
us.
consider. That I am green, like Gumby, and Blaze, you are red, like Gumby's pal Pokey, and Cab, you are yellow, like Gumby's pal Prickle. And I was thinking the other day of how completely strange the whole franchise of Gumby actually is. Apparently Gumby has been rebooted a couple years ago in the form of a graphic novel series, which I thought was very strange. One, just because no one's talked about Gumby for like 20 years. He's never been like reinvented or anything. And you see here, for people who aren't familiar with Gumby, the short of him is that he's from the early 1950s. He's a clay boy sort of person who is made by Stop Animation, which is kind of revolutionary in the early 50s. And he is joined by his best friend, a red little pony, Pokey, and then his dinosaur dragon friend, Prickle, and a mermaid-like creature who can also turn into an airplane and shoot goo bullets, appropriately named Goo. And the whole concept of these is that they can go in and out of storybooks by like osmosing through them or whatever, and go into different stories, and that's the episode. They're made out of clay. And this series has kind of come around a couple times. I think they tried to make more episodes in the 60s, and then the 80s when everything kind of came back again. They redid stuff. And then there was a final movie in the mid 90s, and then Gumby just kind of went away. And apparently they tried to and that's what happened to him after the movie because it was horrible.
I like
He
the
just
dark
started
reboot.
turned to substance. And apparently Gumby came back in the form of a graphic novel, which just seems so strange to me. One, because it's Gumby coming back, but also because the whole concept of Gumby is that he is clay, and you get to see him doing things being clay in a clay world. So to have a character who is so specifically one medium, clay, now be paper, just seems like, why have Gumby at all? Why not use this concept of whatever the stories are now for something else? And I just thought that was very strange. Of all the things you could reboot, Gumby, and in this way. No one
Wait,
ever talks about Gumby, like every couple of years they reinvent Alvin and the Chipmunks, or they'll make a new Sonic the Hedgehog cartoon, or they'll, remake My Little Pony in some variation or another. But Gumby hasn't been around for like 25, 30 years, and then with no fanfare, Gumby's a book.
I will admit, it's been a long time since I've thought about Gumby. Uh, I I I actually did not know it went that far back, 50s. Maybe you said they came back to it in the 80s because I thought it was like an 80s thing, but wow, that's way older than I would have thought.
So then this gets actually weirder, and I think Gumby is very creative. It's not a very deep story, but I've seen the movie when it came around, and I remember it just being kind of strange. I do remember it though. I only saw it once or twice. We rented it from the store, and the whole what's so strange about this is that the way that Gumby ended before he started becoming a comic book is that each of the stories of Gumby was going into some story, something happens, and he goes back to his clay world. I think they lived in a toy shop or something, and it's basically there's no real continuity to anything. Over the years, they added a couple more characters, like he got a little sister at some point, and Prickle and Goo came around. But the movie, I think, Gumby or Not, is just such a. It's like we need one draft of this and make a movie, just push it out no matter what. And the story of the Gumby movie is that Gumby is playing in a band. And note that this is in the mid '90s, so the whole like everyone's in a band like Jabberjaw and Josie and the Pussycats. That was like the '70s, and then when everything kind of got reinvented to the '80s, it came around. So this missed both of those marks of children's media. It missed the '70s in the band, and it missed the 1980s of everything kind of coming around again. They just reinvented everything. It missed that whole era. But in the mid '90s, Gumby is randomly in a band. There's all these new characters. They don't really use the old ones, and the whole concept of the movie is that he's driving down the car with his band and he finds this old lady, she's a farmer, and he finds out that her farm is going to be foreclosed on because she took out subprime loan from the blockheads, who are these like characters with blockheads like toy blocks that are usually in some way, shape, or form the antagonist of the Gumby series. So the blockheads decided to open a bank and give subprime lending to all the farmers in Clayland or whatever, and now they're being foreclosed on and they'll have nowhere to live. So Gumby decides with his band to come up with, this gets weirder, he decides to come up with a concept to have a charity concert to raise money to help the farmers. And he finds out that his music is so good that his pet dog cries pearls like from an oyster whenever he hears the music. So the blockheads decide to kidnap Gumby's dog and make robots of Gumby's in his bag to basically force his dog to cry pearls that they can sell for even more money.
Is the dog Pokey?
No, Pokey is a horse.
Yeah, I was gonna say the dog. What I do remember is there was I think there was one really controversial episode where his dog actually ate a baby.
Wait, hold on. We have to watch this. Hold on. We're gonna give everyone some context really quick. Wow!
So at some point, someone decided to reboot this in some weird psychedelic trip thing in the '90s, and it was horrible. And now it's back as a book. I just thought that was really strange. With no fanfare, someone decided to try to cash it in and squeeze whatever they could out of this little clay character.
Wait, just because something's a book doesn't mean the characters in the book have to be made of paper.
No, but what I'm saying is that I'm assuming the whole reason that anybody found this interesting is because the animation was so novel that you have this stop motion clay thing, and when you can't watch this go down and you're just putting this character on paper, it sucks whatever ingenuity is out of this franchise. Like, what's the point? I just thought that was so strange, and apparently they brought this thing back. There's like graphic novels now of this character without any of the things that make him interesting to watch. There's no art to it.
Is he like in a Japanese high school or something? Is it like a manga?
Now that's an interesting take. I would read a Gumby manga where he's like a kawaii schoolgirl.
Yeah, where's Gumby-chan?
Gumby-chan could get it.
There's
a lot of these franchises like this where they just bring like random things back every now and then. Like I said, like Alvin and the Chipmunks is another one. Like whatever era it is, like every 10 years or so, they bring this back and they make a bunch of like really cheap like movies about this, and they like just speed up all like random pop songs of the day and make it squeaky and chipmunkified. And there's a whole bunch of things like this where they just kind of like milk it till like Strawberry Shortcake, the doll / cartoon, whatever from the '80s. This shows up every now and then. There's just like, no original ideas anymore. We even see this now with like the Minions. This has been going on for like 10 years and they're still making Minion shit.
The Minions are tight.
No.
Yeah, banana.
No, it's cringe. You only like them because they're yellow like you.
Yep. I'm biased.
But I'm green. But see, like I'm green like
yellowist.
Gumby, and I'm not attached to Gumby. What's a red character, Blaze? What's a character for you? How
Uh,
about Cool Spot? Remember Cool Spot, the 7-Up mascot?
oh yeah,
With the
they
little
had like a
sunglasses.
game, I think.
Yeah, that was a good game
That game was
for
tight.
being, some licensed thing
Heads up.
from the
Let's
90s.
oh my gosh. Let's play Heads Up 7-Up. 1 round. Okay, ready? Okay, put your heads down.
Impossible.
Okay. I
I was
thought the
wondering what
audience
to
would
do.
really enjoy imagining it. Um, yeah, I think they can. I think that bringing the things back is cool.
We got
Um,
to do something interesting with it, though. You can't just like, oh, we haven't used this character in a while, and then just run something off. It ruins whatever came before it. I mean, especially for something. Not that this particular franchise is like the deepest lore or any of this kind of thing, but it's been around enough. It's been around long enough that you'd want to afford it some sort of dignity.
no, all the people that watched it are dead.
Look at this is probably a real problem in the Gumby community is when all of your people are dying. Or like, look at Scooby Doo. This comes back not even like 10 years, like every 5 years there's a new Scooby Doo. And then the latest one, which is everyone's kind of done talking about, it's now the Velma from a couple months back, doesn't even have Scooby Doo in it.
Yeah,
It's like Scooby Doo without Scooby Doo, or those old memes like Garfield without Garfield. It's just John Arbuckle, like talking to himself, or Odie.
those are tight though. I love it
That's
because it
true.
just like makes him seem
Let's see.
insane. Also, I don't know. I think Scooby Doo is the weakest character out of all the mystery gang.
Well, yeah, he doesn't really. He's a dog. He's a mascot basically.
Yeah, bye. They should replace Scooby Doo
Well,
with
then Velma's
Scrappy
the show
Doo.
for you. Get rid of that pesky Scooby Doo.
Yeah, I hate the dog.
How about Scrappy Doo? You like Scrappy?
Yes, Scrappy Doo's the king.
Do you like Scooby
Terrible
Dog?
what happened to him though. I can't believe he ended up that way.
What?
You didn't know Scrappy Doo was found dead in Miami?
Oh
Scrappy Doo.
no! Overdose?
I can only imagine.
Yeah, that guy was
What would,
that guy was
what
on
would Scrappy
uppers.
overdose on? What do you
Uh,
think?
he was on like those. It was that whole era of doing the bath salts.
Ketamine.
He was just on bath salts. He tried to eat
Eat
some
Scooby Doo's face.
people's faces, and he got put down. If you know what I mean.
I like a happy ending.
He got that too. Wink. Um, speaking of eating, you were saying something about someone ate your eating babies or something. What were you saying?
Okay, so how come every time there's a baby, it's cute. Let's assume it's a cute baby, and no one's has got the gall to
Oh,
say, "Oh, your baby is ugly." I'm like, "Oh, your baby's so cute. I'm going to eat your baby. I'm just going to eat you up." Or they pretend to eat the baby, like grab the baby's foot and go like nom, nom, or something, which is a weird thing to do. That across all these different cultures and demographics, it just seems like it's one of two things: you either pretend or threaten to eat the baby with the parents right there. It's weird. Or you say like, oh, you tell the parents like, you better be careful or I'll just steal him. Or you talk to the baby directly, ignore the parent. Oh, I'm gonna take you home with me if you're not careful. Like, why is it always the go-to? You have to either threaten to eat and or steal the baby, and then the parent has to come and make some comment like, oh no, I would miss him too much, or oh, like not if I eat him first, or something like that. Some weird thing. But this is like one of these like dumb conversations you have to have with people if you have a baby. It's the same thing with like talking about the weather or whatever small talk you have to make. It just how did it start?
I
Where
don't know,
the
but
go-to topic was always I'm gonna eat your baby or I'm gonna steal your baby.
I refuse to eat anyone's baby or tell them I'm gonna eat their baby.
Maybe you
Or
have to
you
be
know what?
prudent about
I'm gonna go as far as to say even talk to anyone with a baby.
No, that's playing it safe. I think that's the correct way. Then you don't have to ever put yourself in that situation. You might eat the baby.
I very enjoys the wrong word, but like this topic, I don't know if we've had this conversation before. If I've just like thought about it, but the whole like being forced to do things like, conversationally or whatever, right? Like Like when someone asks you how you're doing in like a work setting, you don't actually tell them how you're doing. You always say, "Oh, surviving," or you say whatever. Like you're not actually supposed to
Or you
elaborate.
gotta
And
do that awkward thing where you have to switch a thing. So it's, hi, I'm calling from so and so. How are you doing? Good. Hey, anyway, I'm calling about, and you have to like do that kind of thing.
correct, and you have
That's weird
to.
too. All these weird conversations you just have to have, and everyone just plays the part. Whether you're the first person to start the conversation or the person who's being talked to, everyone just knows their role, and you have to have these little convos in life,
Correct.
whether
And,
or not you want to eat the baby.
correct, and I like it. I'm on the side of, I think, I can recognize the utility in everyone just speaking very bluntly or speaking how they just getting the information out or whatever. But I think life would just be boring or something. Like, even though it's sort of this repetitive social pattern, I think I actually like weirdly enjoy it.
You're just the contrarian. You like feet.
No, I enjoy. I like ironically doing it a lot, and maybe that's where my bias comes from. Is I love, you know, uh,
You ironically eat the baby.
yes, like I don't think I've never felt that feeling like, oh, I'm gonna eat your baby, you know. But I've definitely,
Blaze, would you ironically steal the baby? So like pretend like you got the baby and you're leaving, and then like you go, "Oh, just kidding," and then you bring it back.
I feel like uh I've seen this in some sort of like I don't know if it was like a sketch, probably not a hidden camera show or maybe like a sketch show. I swear I've seen something like that where somebody like pretends to steal a baby. And it's not coming to me where it's from, but I've definitely seen that. To me, it only makes sense if it were like a hidden camera thing.
yeah,
Um,
just a prank, bro.
Speaking of like hidden camera stuff though, actually, you know what I watched for the third time the other day?
Oh, the Eric Andre movie.
Yes, Bad Trip. I can't get enough. Like I anytime I have the opportunity to show somebody that movie, I'll be like, "Hey, let's watch this movie." It's so good.
I agree. He's he's one of the few comedians, him and Tom Green. However, that might just be my nostalgia talking. They're the only people I've seen that have done like comedy to the public or pranks to the public that I actually think are funny. Usually it's just like ruining some minimum wage worker's day or like just fucking with people for no reason. But like something about the way they do things is like it's very funny and like acceptable to me.
Yeah, I'm probably still on the fence about acceptable, but funny, sure. I think the difference between those two people that you mentioned and other people that do this kind of thing is that I mean, I don't really remember. I mean, I remember Tom Green, but like, I don't know. I think that they were arguably, at least Eric Andre is funny in other contexts. Like, it's not just him in like live interactions with people doing stupid shit. It's like I've seen his stand up and it's hilarious.
Correct, and maybe that is what it is. It's just so over the top. It's not like when he pranks people, it's so crazy and it's so wacky and it's so you know, it's just goofy. Whereas like even some of the Jackass stuff is like, oh, you're like scaring people, like, you know,
Yeah,
like
I was never into the whole jackass thing,
I
to be
think
committing.
honest.
Jackass is one of those things that it's very much a product of and for its time. Like
They're still
that
doing
whole,
it.
Well,
yeah, but
yeah.
it's like the shock of it's kind of worn off.
I watched the movie, the new one, Jackass Forever. I watched it a week ago. I can't remember, maybe 2 weeks ago. It's still,
I wasn't.
it was funny, but it's definitely, it's not. I don't know if they're catering to their growing audience because it was sort of, it was less of the gross out stuff and more of the just like slapstick.
Yeah,
Well,
didn't
what I'm saying is like it's kind of like of its time because like when that came out, that's like kind of when like Fear Factor and all that was big, and you know It's kind of around that era.
Yeah.
And then who was it that one of the guys like actually got brain damage from one of the stunts?
In the new movie?
Yeah. Is it Johnny Knoxville? It's a I haven't seen the movie, but like I think it was when he was isn't there a part with him like on a bull or something?
Correct. He got super injured with the bull. He had like a
Yeah.
concussion and broken ribs and like all that stuff. Yeah. Um, he got
Wasn't he
hurt.
the one who drank all the horse semen too?
No, I can't remember who, but it wasn't John
I'll find
Knoxville.
out who did.
He's the leader. He doesn't have to do that kind of stuff. He gets all his
I mean,
underlings
that's
to
a
do
perk.
that.
Yeah, he just has to almost get permanent brain damage.
I think that's preferable, actually.
I agree. They had a girl in it for the first time, which is cool. She was crazy, man. It was awesome. But
Yeah, I mean, in Bad Trip, Tiffany Haddish was insane. Like the level she went to with people. I feel like there is a thing with society that, to be honest, that like because she's a woman, there's like more likely for her to, I don't want to say like get away with it, but I think that people are less likely to get, at least men, uh, maybe women too, to get like start like a physical confrontation with like a woman. I think if you're a guy doing stupid shit, people are more likely to uh, take it to the level of like physical assault.
oh yeah,
Like if a guy was
Yeah.
doing the kind of stuff to people that she was doing and like getting in their face and yelling, like yeah, I just it's crazy. That's the one thing I thought of like every time really I watch it.
yeah. The not only is the reaction probably more intense, but the fuse is also shorter. So it's like both things, where it's like if some I'm sure when Eric Andre does the stupid like buzz me mellow like ranch bird up whatever like those are different scenes. The first one I'm talking about, uh, like I'm sure he gets crazy violent reactions that we don't get to see. Um, whereas, yeah, Tiffany Haddish definitely got away with some stuff, which is I mean she's crazy too. She's out of her mind. What a good movie. I haven't I've been trying to watch more movies recently instead of TV shows cuz I super fall into that like binge watching stuff. Like if I start an episode of a show, I'll find myself at like 3 in the morning watching 7 episodes in a row. So I've been trying to watch movies instead.
That's interesting. I've never heard of that, but I guess maybe your overall watch time would potentially be less because you've already been sitting there and it's not a continuation. So you're
Correct.
not just don't start a trilogy ever, I guess.
Yeah, I'm just a
Mm.
sucker. Like I'm just dumb. I fall for all the cliffhangers, and so if a show's really well designed, I just want to watch more and more. Cause I'm
Well, like we were talking about Maury last week, that's nothing but cliffhangers.
no.
It was like, who's the baby daddy? And you go to a
Oh
commercial.
yeah. For the commercial breaks, yeah.
So if you like cliffhangers, that's your show, man.
See, shows. That's the one thing that's different about streaming, is that there's no more commercial cliffhangers, so they only really have cliffhangers at the end. Which
Yeah.
I think has made better TV. I think they kind of keep the action high throughout instead of purposely putting in these rises and falls and stuff.
I feel like yeah, I guess you're right. I was gonna say that's like a big thing too for like reality shows and things like that.
Oh yeah.
Like going to commercial, like right before you reveal who will she give the final rose to.
Yeah. If you ever watch a reality show that they put on streaming but they didn't re-edit it, it's so funny when you get to, like you watch for 10 minutes or whatever and then repeat the same scene twice because it's they always did the scene before and after the commercial, the little recap.
Yeah, it doesn't quite work that.
And it's, yeah,
as
they
well.
just play it twice in a row and then you're like, okay.
I feel like you can't even doing that in between commercials. It's like another way to draw out the like people's anticipation. And to me that's annoying, but
Oh yeah. Yeah, people are, and I watch a lot of YouTube, and YouTubers have kind of taken over that model where I find myself like wanting to watch a video for something, and maybe it's like 17 minutes long, and I'll just skip to minute 12, like off the rip, because I just know that they're not going to get to the subject or
Same.
the whatever until like all the way at the end. It's kind of annoying.
Yeah, what else is annoying about like YouTube and specifically like the gotcha type of like the clickbait not even clickbait videos but like clickbait thumbnails because people can use whatever they want as the thumbnail for their video and they might put like some people who are like have basically shit content and are just trying to get clicks will just put some kind of eye catcher clickbaity uh thumbnail for the video and then like you will never see that screen still in the video like it's not even there.
How about those? There was a video that kept coming up like on my feed, I don't know, about a year or two ago. And it was like all like 1 hour of satisfying things, and it's like pegs fitting perfectly into holes or frosting on a cake and stuff like that. And the thumbnail was this really smooth, perfect peanut butter and jelly. That's what I wanted to see. I watched the whole video, never came up. And
Oh
I've seen
man,
this thumbnail on multiple videos, doesn't come up. And I wasn't the only one because I was reading the comments, like, did I miss it? And there
where's
are
the
other people like, where's the
sandwich?
smooth PB&J? And everyone was upset about this. Everyone felt betrayed. So at least it wasn't just me.
That's
Well, at least
brutal.
now you know like check out the comments first
Yes. I will never make that mistake again.
Yep.
or even during. I could see myself if it was how long was the video?
Control F, sandwich not found, exit.
Man, yeah, I think during the video I would be looking at the comments.
Yeah, I'd be furious.
I mean, the rest of it was fun to watch too. It was satisfying, but not as satisfying as it would have been if the sandwich was there.
I love those satisfying videos.
Speaking of smooth peanut butter, has anybody actually tried those new like Reese's cups they got? There's like one that's creamy peanut butter and one that's crunchy peanut butter.
No.
I have not. Okay, hold on
Wait,
a
that
minute.
sounds so good.
Yeah, pull up.
Which one? All? Both?
Crunchy.
Yeah, pull up. Go to Google Image or something and type in smooth PB&J sandwich, and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. Tell me you don't want to taste this. Touch it.
Wait, you looked this up on your computer?
Yeah, I just did it right now. And you have the control, so put it on there.
What?
See?
The Jello PB&J? That looks
That's what it's made
horrible.
out of. It's made out of like a.
That's disgusting. I don't want to
Look
see
at it.
that.
Isn't it satisfying to look at? Isn't it aesthetically pleasing?
So that's
Yeah,
fine.
I'd
Throw it
eat
in the
it. I'd at
garbage.
least taste it. You're telling me you wouldn't try that?
I'm gonna make it.
This is satisfying.
No, that's
Huh.
not as good.
You know, that's wild. I would try that too. I would never make that because that's way too much
Oh, I love that. I like peanut
commitment for
butter.
one sandwich.
Peanut butter and
So
marshmallows.
according to myrecipes.com, smooth peanut butter and jelly, the way you make the bread is 1 cup of cold water, 1.5 teaspoons of agar powder, 1 cup of whole milk, 6 tablespoons of granulated sugar, 2 teaspoons of heavy cream, and 1/8 of a teaspoon of table salt. That's how you make the bread, so to speak.
It's all sugar. It sounds like
Yeah,
Subway's
it's
bread.
And then the peanut butter is pretty much the same thing. This is just a bunch of agar powder, basically.
Yeah, disgusting.
So
What?
I mean, it's pretty.
Yeah. What about the crunchy peanut butter cups though? I want that.
Yeah, I mean, I want to try both, but I think I agree the crunchy one seems a bit more intriguing.
Wait, isn't it already creamy? Or
No,
'cause
it's
now
like
it's
the
airy.
peanut butter. You can't call it creamy. It's basically like a powder. Like the actual peanut butter that's in a Reese's is like a thick powder.
I guess the texture would be kind of like if you took crunchy peanut butter or chunky and tried to turn it into smooth yourself, like if you just smashed it, it's still got some like texture to it, but it's not. There's no pieces in it. It is kind of an in between.
I have well, I like the Reese's that have the Reese's Pieces in CC's.
That's not for me.
Inception.
Uh,
How about this?
what's your favorite
Charleston
candy?
Chew, freezer
Oh.
or not?
Not the candy bar altogether.
Charleston Chews, minis, freezer.
Minis, okay.
What's in a Charleston chew? To be honest, I can't say that I've ever had one.
Like a nougat covered in.
Already, I'm out. I can barely like a Snickers. Nougat is like
But it's
nougat
like a
is
different kind
basically
of
like
nougat.
it doesn't. Nougat is basically like the filler substance that people were like, what else do we put in this candy bar? I don't know.
It's sweet and
Okay.
chewy. It forces you to take your time and savor it. I mean, you can just plow through like, the 2 peanut butter cups and a thing, or through the super soft Three Musketeers. But with Charleston Chew, you have to chew. You have to savor it and let the flavors dance on your palate. It forces you to slow down in a hectic world.
Yeah, is your palate even dancing, dude?
And if your
Definitely
palate
not
isn't dancing, what are we
nougat.
even doing here?
Yeah, your palate's frozen. Your palate's a little bitch.
Let's be nice to his palate. It knows not what it does.
I'm
Or maybe it does, in which case it is a little bitch.
Here's official Houston Press. Okay, just an absolutely stellar publication with its reputation precedes it, and it's letting us know that top 5 candy bars better eaten frozen than at room temperature. We got Snickers, we got peanut butter cups, and then we got the Charleston Chew. I rest my case. Houston and all of Houston agrees, and all of
It
the
never
Associated
occurred to
Press.
me to freeze a Snickers or a peanut butter cup. Why would you freeze peanut butter?
Take it up
I
with the city of Houston, buddy.
I cannot imagine trying to eat a frozen Heath bar. Like those things are already plenty hard enough. Which I would
And
still
some
take a
wouldn't
Heath
freeze
bar.
well.
I would
Like, you
still
wouldn't
take
be
a
able to
Heath
freeze
bar
like a
over
Doughboy or something.
anything with nougat really.
What's Heath?
Heath, it's basically just chocolate
Like
covered
toffee.
toffee.
Yeah,
Toffee?
toffee.
Ew. Toffee's gross.
You're
Nah.
gross.
Cause it's always burning stuff.
Well, you don't like so
It's a
okay.
sophisticated flavor, Cab.
To be fair, like I don't think I would ever buy and consume a Heath bar, but like any sort of like ice cream or anything with like pieces of Heath bar in it, very good. But like to just sit and eat a Heath bar, it's kind of boring. It's like like a payday. I also find paydays to be very boring. I mean, it's literally just peanuts and caramel. Come on, put a little more effort. And I do
I
know
like the payday.
they're not bad. When I was younger, actually, I would get them all the time. But in all honesty, I think one time, not actually too long ago, I got a chocolate covered payday, and I was like, this is what a payday should be. Like this should be the standard that we're on.
I agree. I do love paydays.
How about the strawberry Charleston Chew?
Yeah, incredible.
Yes.
I just like candy, except for toffee, because it's not even candy. It's just old people shit.
So are you?
Wait, what about Necco wafers? That's old people candy.
Yeah,
Or Mary
horrible.
Jane's.
All the old
Like,
people stuff bad.
Yeah.
What
I'm
the
young and reckless, and
what
I
is a
like
Mary
candy.
Jane?
You've never had a Mary Jane, that super tough peanut butter thing? And it comes a yellow
Oh,
wrapper with this little chick.
yeah, yeah. That's I didn't
Richard
even know what they were called, but that's like part of the like outcast candy you would sometimes get at Halloween.
Yeah, exactly. Where does it even come from? You ever seen this for sale? No, but
It's literally
sometimes it winds up
like
in your Halloween bucket.
on the level of what am I thinking of? The candy that everybody hates, but
Honeybees?
a few people ironically say that they like.
The honey
Is it
thing.
Necco wafer?
No, it's specifically a Halloween candy corn.
Oh, yeah.
I like candy corn.
Candy corn sucks.
You would. There's always one. There's
Dude,
always
yeah,
at least one.
I mean, I can eat like 2 pieces of candy corn, and that's the most disgusting thing I've ever had.
It's got a good texture to it. It's satisfying.
Okay, the texture's good, but sure, but the flavor, no.
You know what my
I
favorite
like
thing
to
to
bite
eat?
the little white part off at the end, and then like eat the layers.
Oh, true. You know what my favorite thing to eat at Halloween is?
Smooth peanut butter and jelly.
You baby!
Babies.
You're so cute, baby!
I knew it was coming.
I'm gonna eat you up for Halloween candy.
Well, you can't eat the baby if I steal it first.
Not if I put a razor blade in it. The candy. With the...
The baby? You put a
With
razor
the-
blade in the baby, then steal it and eat it?
Well, if you put razor blade in it, then no one will eat it.
Not necessarily.
Halloween is the best holiday.
Okay, well, how about this? If you put a baby on the floor, does it follow the 5-second rule? Can you still eat it?
Yep.
All right.
They're delectable anytime. It's just... Okay, so... I've never been someone... Not to circle back around, but...
I do have a Halloween question.
That's...
after.
Yes.
You want me to go? Okay.
Yes.
Was there any like standout costume when you were younger that you either just was your favorite on Halloween, or you would always like maybe you've been it more than once on Halloween?
Yes.
All right, cool. What were you gonna say? No.
My
Yeah. Tell me, what is it? What is it?
my mom made all of my costumes until I was 10. And then a few times after that too, but there was one time where I was Buzz Lightyear, and she made an entire pulley system. I mean, and she just, she sewed stuff, but it was very like duct tape and cardboard, and she made a Buzz Lightyear wings with a whole pulley system. So when I pulled down these cords, my wings shot up like Buzz Lightyear.
That's pretty sick, actually.
And then I was SpongeBob, and she made an entire cardboard box into SpongeBob, and I put it over me, and I had, eye holes, and I stuck my arms out. And then when I got older, I was a ninja for Halloween 5 years in a row.
Now, when you say older, like
40.
what? Oh, okay.
Once I was in middle school, high school.
Okay. Yeah, I think. Man, no wonder you really like Halloween. That like sounds pretty dope.
They are,
I-
they still exist. I mean, like I put the SpongeBob costume on just to see if it kind of fit, 6 months ago.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think my like costume that I kept going back to a bunch of years in a row. I don't know if it was in a row necessarily, but vampire.
Classic.
Really? Yeah, that's so standard yet classic. Did you suck people's blood?
Did you eat the
Cute
baby?
babies.
Johnny, you have any cool costumes?
Nothing like that. No, you take the cake on that one.
You don't have anything cooler than vampire?
Oh no, I mean like you won that one with the Buzz Lightyear SpongeBob thing.
Oh yeah.
It's not a competition.
If it was a competition, I would win. But it's
If
not.
it was a competition, I wouldn't even have brought up vampire. Or I
No,
would have
nothing-
made up
nothing
something
better.
completely untrue.
Everything I remember about Halloween is like the I don't know how to describe it, like just like kind of like each Halloween I remember had like a different like feel to it depending on like which neighborhoods I'd go to or who I was trick or treating with and stuff like that. And I remember one time we were going around or whatever, and we hit the main drag, and we wound up at this Chinese restaurant and got a bunch of fortune cookies.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's still not the worst treat that you could get on Halloween, really. I'd
Yeah.
still
Mary
take
Jane.
that over a Mary Jane over a
Mary Jane's over. Where do you even buy Mary Jane?
candy corn.
Buy Mary Jane candy.
I don't know.
You even do this?
Are Mary Jane's like the unlabeled, like purple and or purple, orange
No,
and
those are those
black?
peanut butter things.
Those
Oh,
are
that's what I
awesome.
thought you were talking about.
No, Mary Jane's, they come in, they're either in like little Laffy Taffy looking things or Tootsie Roll looking things. They're yellow with a red stripe and they have a little girl on them and they're waxy.
Oh, see, I always thought that these were like the honeybee things. I didn't realize
No,
that they were different.
those are different. That's Bit of Honey, that's different.
Just as a quick reference. Oh, I don't think I've ever had this. Oh, know what? This one that's
Come on,
unwrapped.
consider yourself blessed.
Yeah,
It's the worst
no,
you
I've
could
definitely
possibly
had this.
get.
These are
I've
awesome.
probably had it, but I don't remember. I don't remember seeing that.
They're made of molasses
often.
and peanut butter and they're horrible. They
That
rip the
sounds
teeth out of
awesome.
your head.
What you want to say? Hear about the worst Halloween costume? I mean, obviously, there's always gonna be someone that's like at a party or like at somewhere, or you see it online that's wearing like the most offensive costume in the world.
Or it's
Like-
like somebody just shows up with a t-shirt that says "This is my costume" or something like that.
Yeah, but we don't talk about those people. But I had a buddy. I hesitate to even say that. I knew someone in college that it wasn't offensive specifically. Like some people are like, you know, something really bad happens that year, and they'll be like Casey Anthony with a dead baby or something, right? It wasn't that. He was just a flasher. But something about that being like so non-specific, and the guy was kind of creepy to begin with. It's like, why did you ever pick this costume?
So was he just basically wearing like a very long trench coat?
A long beige trench coat with nothing underneath it.
Wait, so he literally
So
didn't have anything
He was a
underneath it.
flasher,
Yes,
basically.
he didn't do it, but he like was a method actor or whatever. You know what I mean? Like he had no clothes underneath, specifically because.
So if he didn't flash anybody, how can you prove that he did not have any clothes underneath?
Oh, I mean, he didn't
True.
flashed any strangers.
He just flashed his
just
friends
you,
and family.
just you.
Okay.
He didn't like commit crimes or whatever. You know what I mean?
So you asked,
Did he
you
ask for
said,
consent
I
before
don't
he
believe
exposed
you.
himself?
yeah,
I don't believe you. Show me.
yeah.
and
I
then he
said,
flashed you.
yeah, that's exactly what I did. I said, I don't believe you unless I feel it with my mouth. I don't know for sure. That's what I said. No, it just whatever, just goofing around, just just dude things,
So you could have made that. I feel like you could have made that costume. Like that has potential to actually be funny. If you wear like, I don't know, maybe just boxers or something, but then you have like some kind of
Big
yeah, like a fake dick or something with like like googly eyes or like something really
multiple. That would
goofy, you know what I
that
mean?
would be
Something
even-
phallic and humorous.
Yeah.
It doesn't necessarily have to be like a realistic dildo strapped to you or something. But like, something comic, like very comical and phallic.
HR wants to see you.
That would have been a much better costume because then you could flash people
Okay,
and it would be funny.
might be funny.
Don't let your dreams be dreams.
Yeah,
I mean, maybe not strangers,
Correct,
just
yeah.
in case.
correct.
But
Well, there's certain. I mean, it's whatever. Or if it ever slipped open, there'd at least be some sort of safeguard against
Yeah.
committing a felony.
no, I mean, I don't know about that. Like, it depends how loose it is, but
True. We didn't test that part out. But that's the worst costume I've seen. That's like I know the person, and it's not specific.
I thought you were gonna say the worst costume that you've ever done. Do you have one of those?
No.
Yeah, I really don't remember much about that. When I think of Halloween, I think of like events or candy and stuff like that.
Yeah, I was in high school. I was the Tin Man, and I made that one myself with different silver materials, and I did silver body paint. And my girlfriend at the time was Dorothy, couple's costume, and it wasn't necessarily bad, but I ruined her costume by making it silver. So that was
Nice.
the most. Am I right, fellas? But that was like the worst mess I've made of a costume. I hosted a
Yeah.
Halloween party once, and two people were blue. One person and Blaze was there. One person was Captain Planet, and one person was Sonic. And I found little blue smudges around my apartment for months.
Yeah, that's exactly when you said the silver paint or whatever. That is 100% the night that came to my head.
Yeah.
Also, I don't know if it was. I think it was a few years prior to that with some similar people. We were at a party, and what I will say is my worst costume. So, for context, I was supposed to be a couple's costume. My girlfriend at the time was going to be, I think it's Belle. That's the one from Beauty and the Beast, or no?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I
And
was gonna be
Mrs.
the
Potts?
Beast. And the thing is, it's funny because whatever Halloween, when you're like an adult, everybody is like sexy something, sexy this, sexy that, sexy pizza,
Yes.
and sexy pizza that's real. Look it up. Uh,
Ooh.
and so okay, yeah, that was the joke. We were like, oh, we're not gonna buy something, we're gonna make it or whatever. So I'm like, obviously, being a beast is gonna be way more complicated to make than her costume.
Just be the beast after he's human again.
Yeah, that would have been the thought, but sexy
I.
pizza. But that would have been the thought, but that's not the thought I had in my head when I went to the fabric store and bought a bunch of, I don't know, actually kind of expensive brown fur-like fabric. Uh, my girlfriend, she promised me, maybe that's a strong word, promise, but she told me that she was going to, oh, like, yeah, I'll make it or we'll make it together or whatever. She made it seem like she was gonna organize it and do the lion's share of the work. Didn't happen. So not only was she not Belle, I think she was a cowgirl or something. Uh, I didn't have a costume, so I still committed to Sexy Beast. I basically took some duct tape. And speaking about being naked on something, this thing was up like thick fur. So I was mostly naked underneath this thing. I mean, I did have underwear on, but that's it. Because it was way too hot to for me to want to wear something underneath it. I just basically wrapped it around me and like duct taped it in places, and then put a little like like a sheet of notepad, tore it, wrote "sexy beast" and taped it on the front of myself so people would know who I was.
What's so funny is that "sexy beast" is like itself a phrase.
Right.
So people might have just
Yes.
thought you were being a sexy beast instead of being, a
The
sex up
sexy
version of
beast.
the beast.
Oh man. Yeah, I didn't even think about that, but it was it was interesting.
Women.
Am I right?
Uh, Belle would be a sick costume. I'm surprised that she decided not to. What if you were gonna be a Disney princess? Which one would you be?
For Halloween?
No, in real
Just
life.
to
In real
be able to
life.
live, just to live your life as a Disney
Yeah.
princess. Well, the obvious one would be Elsa because she has ice powers.
Okay. See, not obvious. You're Elsa.
Or you could be Ariel and be a fish. Actually, that's kind of cool. I'll be
She's a
Ariel.
mermaid.
All
Have
right, well, since Magic Ice Lady's free, I'll be her.
Okay. I'm
so see, Cab. She is the obvious. That's where he went for first one too.
In my defense, I don't really know that many Disney princesses are like what they're most Disney princesses have either like pretty shitty or boring backstories, except for like I think more recent ones have been more interesting characters probably
Correct.
than just like damsel in distress kind of thing. So I don't know. I wouldn't really want to be any of them because
How
it's
could you possibly be more interesting than Sleeping Beauty?
ice powers.
I would be Jasmine. Because
Why?
Jasmine gets a flying carpet and a monkey and a tiger.
Okay,
And
first
a
of all,
hunka
Ja-
boyfriend.
hold
What?
on. Jasmine had the tiger.
Yes.
Abu belongs to Aladdin, and the carpet is like his own will. She doesn't own the carpet.
Correct. First, yeah.
Carpet
Also,
owns her.
Abu's his own person, too. First of all.
No, he belongs to Aladdin.
Incorrect. Strong,
They
independent man.
become
Okay, well then, well, if
companions
that's the
early
case, then
on, right?
how come Raja the tiger belongs to Jasmine then?
But there is no ownership there, isn't it? Isn't the beginning of Aladdin? There's like a monkey, and they're kind of like rivals, and then they become friends or something.
No.
No. He
No,
even
what
says
movie
in the
was I
song,
watching?
"You're my only friend, Abu." He says it in the song at the beginning. They've
Uh,
been friends forever.
Yeah. Well, it's good. Raja's just, I don't know, is bad at sticking up for himself.
You don't even want to be Jasmine. You just want the things she has. They're so
That's
materialistic.
the same diff.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
That's like saying I want to be Ariel because I want a seashell bra instead of just I want to be the fish girl.
What? No, Jasmine's tight. And she's pretty.
And
she has
I'm
a
not gonna
casting-
lie, Ariel was like my second
Yeah, Ariel's the best.
because I don't know, not something about just imagine living that life. You were a fish, and now you're basically a human. That's intense.
You want to be part of her world, where she wants to be part of our world. I think that the seaweed is always greener in someone else's lake.
Yeah. True. Good lyric reference there.
Nobody wants to be, Mulan.
No.
Why?
Because Mulan sucks?
No one wants to be Pocahontas.
War is bad, man. You gotta love your neighbor
You know what? Nobody ever wants to be Pocahontas. I feel bad for
sexually if
Pocahontas.
possible.
No, it's true. You never see anybody dress up as Pocahontas. She's never like anyone's favorite. No, that's not true. I dated a girl for a while, and her favorite Disney movie and favorite princess was Pocahontas. I take that back, but she's the only one.
I had the Pocahontas board game, but I think I've only seen it once. I literally don't know the story.
Yeah, because nobody. Well, you don't know the story of Pocahontas?
She has a raccoon
Yes.
and a bird. I only care about the animals. I like Ariel because she has a fish and a crab. Pocahontas is like
I feel like you're just reducing these women to
Pocahontas
their
is
animal
like
companions, and I don't think that's right.
Pocahontas is like the guy comes to see Pocahontas, and then Pocahontas' tribe is being really selfish with their land, and not letting John Smith have it or something, right?
Yes, and we realize, and the moral story is that when somebody wants your land, you should give it to them. You shouldn't even just share it. It's theirs now.
Yeah, and then like at the end, you see him walk down a trail into the sunset.
Wow,
It has a very happy. Everything's better in the end.
I mean, it's crazy. Like, they don't really talk about it like this, but the Pilgrims were really into OPP.
Oh no!
Well, then how about Pocahontas 2, where she goes to England?
What?
Pocahontas 2, she goes to England and falls in love with a different man.
Not a second one.
Yeah,
Please
that's
tell me
straight-
that
It
isn't
is.
joke.
Is that straight to DVD?
Get the fuck out.
Or
Yeah,
straight to
so
VHS?
Pocahontas goes to England and she falls in love with another man, John Rolfe.
A different guy now?
Yes.
Are you thinking
Okay.
of Hunchback of
So
Notre
she goes
Dame?
to England and falls in love with this other guy, and then they get married. So it's like all Pocahontas 1 was for nothing. It was just a way for her to get to England.
She goes to England in the first one?
No, we're talking about Pocahontas 2 now.
No, but what's the
Pay attention.
motivation?
Huh?
What's the motivation?
Let's just see what England's like, I guess. I don't know. He visited her house, and now
Is
she's
this
going to
is
visit his
this
house.
is two
Well, like in
post
Pocahontas too, when she goes to space.
America? Is one post? One is like America's a thing, right?
One takes place in colonial America.
Okay, okay.
In the English, visit what becomes the United States, and the story happens. And then in Pocahontas 2,
Wait, so it's
she-
pre-America,
Yeah.
like
it's
United States of
yes,
America.
it's
Oh,
the
okay, okay.
Virginia. It takes place like in the Virginia, what is now the state of Virginia, and now, and then in Pocahontas 2, she goes to England.
And now is Pocahontas 2 post United States of America?
No,
Interesting.
So she abandons the fight.
I guess she would have to be like, I don't depending on the year, like when it took place.
but the thing
Oh
is
yeah,
that
because she has
nobody
a
I'm
certain
really thinking
age.
about it too much.
to be Pocahontas. I feel bad for Pocahontas. She's always ranked low. No one wants to be Pocahontas.
I think Pocahontas is some of the best, as one of the best signature songs out of all the movies.
That's the only thing anyone knows about the movie, though.
Colors
of the
Colors
Wind.
of the Wind. Yeah, yeah.
See? Even Blaze knows. He doesn't even know about Pocahontas too. That's the only thing anyone remembers about Pocahontas is her song.
It's a good song. What's the Mulan song? Because that one's good too.
Reflection?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. I don't think I've ever seen Mulan.
What? See, it's weird that you haven't. It's a bad movie, but it's weird.
How
Here's
about
my
Mulan
problem.
2?
So, and this is gonna be, I don't know how to describe this. You know how before you were saying I was contrarian?
Did she also go to London?
Yeah, when she and all the the Chinese army go to London to kill Pocahontas.
The thing about Mulan is, I don't like Mulan because of my high school friends, because they were all like these band kids, and they were obsessed with the what's the song? Make a Man Out of You.
It's a good song.
No, it's a
Donny
horrible
Osmond
song.
sings it.
And they thought it was so funny to sing it all the time. And oh my God, isn't it so like funny that we're singing at Disney? It was just like this whole thing. And it's like, dude, and it just made me hate it so much. I don't know how to describe it. Do you know what I mean? Or do I sound like a psycho?
Yeah, it just ruined it. That's okay.
Yeah, they ruined
At least
it.
Pocahontas will never be ruined by band kids, because everyone ignores her.
Yeah. Now, orchestra kids.
Now, I actually, to the Elsa thing, I don't know, is Elsa considered a Disney princess? She's more of a queen, and she becomes a queen at the end of Frozen. So maybe she doesn't even count.
I think Anna is meant to be the princess. Like the
Anna's
Disney
alright.
princess. And
I've never
Elsa.
seen Frozen either. So.
You haven't even seen Frozen 2?
Yeah,
I
that's the
never
one
seen
she
Frozen
went to London, right?
Yeah.
Everyone moves to London.
They go to London.
Now,
they
how about
build the ice
Cinderella 3,
castle.
where she goes back in time?
Who?
Cinderella 3 is about time travel.
See,
Oh yeah, to to Nazi Germany.
yeah, you're making things up now.
No, I'm not. Look it up. It's true.
And she goes to the ball.
Well,
The ball
they're like-
in Nazi Germany.
It's like a fan fiction movie. It's like the evil stepmom finds the fairy godmother's wand and figures out how Cinderella pulled the shit she did, and she uses the wand to go back in time and undo Cinderella 1.
The evil step Fuhrer?
Yes. And
Wait.
Cinderella goes back in time to help Hitler.
To help? She's supposed to go
I
back
thought
and
you
kill
meant
baby
fight. I
Hitler.
thought you
She's
meant fight.
supposed to go back
No.
and eat up baby Hitler because he's so cute. Am I right? See, that's the one
Yes,
time.
if you could go back in time, would you eat baby Hitler?
Yeah, you have to. That time is the only time that you have to eat the baby.
Or would
That's
you just
fair.
steal baby Hitler? You don't have to eat him. You could
No,
just
you
steal
have
him.
to eat him. You have to. I mean, you could choose not to. And you'll have to face your choices, though, when the kingdom come.
Would you eat baby
Wait.
Gumby?
With a baby gum? Yeah. I've never eaten... You know what? I was never a kid that ate, like, Play-Doh and glue and
No,
stuff.
why would you? I wasn't either. Why would you eat that? It's not
I
food.
feel like
You
that's
tasted
common.
it though.
Oh, big time.
Yeah, everyone tastes Play-Doh. That's
Yeah.
how you learn not to eat it.
And it's the worst tasting thing in the world.
Yeah,
I
it's
mean, it's like
gross.
pure salt, and it's like, oh,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
the worst. Man.
That's how you learn not to eat Play-Doh, by tasting it. You're supposed to taste it. You're not supposed to eat it.
Just supposed to. That was their slogan for a while, wasn't it?
Just a little taste.
That's actually one of the
Want my
top
Play-Doh,
5
please?
candies that you should freeze before eating. Is Play-Doh. Okay, well, we've sufficiently gone in 17 meta loops here at the end, so I think that's a good spot to stop before we go into a complete time loop ourselves, like in Cinderella 3. Am I right? Oh no, it's happening. That's it. Blaze, do you have anything else you'd like to end? Last words?
Lobsters are immortal.
And Johnny, you got some last words?
Stop killing Gumby. He's already dead.
And my last word is, okay, Pocahontas, you're okay. We'll tolerate you, and we'll see you guys next week. Bye.